everyone, Graham Bannon with you once again to tell you all that you can't stop this radio from working. Are you tired of the monotonous rainy days? Has chopping up fishes outside already become routine for you? Well, don't worry, I came to you to delete your days with the latest news possible, so sit back, relax, and listen. Now let's start with something light, shall we? The Migrants Union is actively developing its public organizations aimed at improving people's lives. At the moment, they've already opened a public library, a public cinema, and also a first aid room for the people in need. Also, they're looking for the people to work in their offices of public medicine, arts and culture, education, and much, much more. So, if you are interested, contact the Migrants Union. Alright, let's be a little more serious about this one. Recently, a body of a man named Coyote was discovered near the safe zone. He was a member of the hospital's faction, and unfortunately, he was brutally murdered in an alley just a few buildings away from the safe zone. It was not a pleasant scene. I'm not gonna describe you the whole scene, it was just a bloody mess, but I will tell you the most important details, while trying to not make you puke at the same time. Hopefully, those details will be able to help you to notice someone suspicious at some point. So, he had his arm and leg cut off by an instrument, but at the same time his throat was torn out by something rough, maybe even a hand. He had a few scratches and bite marks on his body. We found some white hair near the scene, and also he was shot in the chest by a few arrows. And what a coincidence, considering that another person just a few days later was also shot by arrows. He was cleaning the street from the horde, and out of nowhere someone started shooting at him, but great thing is that he survived. At the same time, it means probably we have a person that is trying to kill people, and he has a specific way of doing it. At the moment, the crime is being investigated, and I'm pretty sure we will be able to find the person who is responsible for it very soon. But for now, I wish you to be safe. Anyways, another shitty news. Sorry about this. Apparently someone is actively trying to make the factions fight between each other. Yes, that's right. Someone is actively planting fake evidence around the area. But don't worry, this is once again is being investigated by the people, and I'm pretty sure pretty soon we will be able to find who is responsible for that too. Surprisingly, it even touched me. Can you believe it? Do you remember the time when my hat was stolen and I thought it was some kind of an act of a crazy fan? Well, it was found. And you know where it was found? In a hospital. In a hospital with a crazy note. It was saying, we know what you want to do with our people. Consider this a warning. Well, I have no idea what that means. I'm sorry, the note looked very scary, of course, a little bit blood on it, very nice touch, I appreciate it, but nobody understood it. The hospital folks didn't understand it, I didn't understand it, the guy who found it didn't even know who I am, and apparently he didn't understand it either. Nobody understood it, so Mr. Planting Guy, you are doing a very bad job. Next time, I'm expecting you to write at least 2 pages of you explaining your criminal mind. Alright? Alright. Still, the main news are that someone is planting fake evidence around the area. So what I can recommend you is, if you will find something suspicious, don't jump to the conclusions immediately. Think about it once or twice. Another news is, I'm pretty sure everyone noticed at this point the presence of people in yellow on the territory of the safe zone. So, the Golden Army has reached us. Congratulations. So far, only partially. Whether it's a good thing or bad, it's purely your opinion. The fact remains that they are here. At the moment, the Golden Army is protecting the safe zone and also monitoring the enforcement of the laws in its territory. Which means that, unfortunately, if you attack someone, rob them, or even worse, kill them, sadly, that will be followed by a punishment. What a shame. Now a little summary of the news that I've got from my colleague from the Golden Empire and a little comment at the end. First of all, apparently the Golden Empire seized control of the Kerpis area. In her own words, it set it free from the wild inhumans and savages. Someone might not believe it, and I appreciate it. Question everything that I tell you. Everything. Check it. Twice even if you can. But at the same time I'm getting information from the other source that apparently the king of the Markt left the Gold Coast and moved to the north. And I have a slight feeling that those two news are pretty connected to each other. The second news is the architect of the Golden Empire anointed bishop is coming to visit us. A short summary for the people who don't know. An architect used to be called a person who designed buildings back in the day. I have no idea if he will come to us and fix our streets or our buildings, but I suppose we will see. And now a little message to the soldiers who came directly to my house to have an autograph. Well, hello guys, I hope you are having a nice day and enjoying this broadcast. Stay tuned. Now let's move on to the letters section before discussing the influence of the Golden Empire if it gains control over our territory. What to do with this information is each person's decision. Still, I want you to know what is being offered to you and draw conclusions from it. Now, the letter section. So, let's see what do we have here this time. Dear Graham, thank you for the radio show. I have a question for you. Why are you wearing your costume everywhere? This kind of clothing turns you into a great bait for the bandits, don't you think? No offense. Well, dear listener, I'm wearing these clothes because first of all, they're stylish, and second of all, well, you know my job. Who knows what will happen to me tomorrow? And if something will happen, I would like to look stylish. Thank you for the question. Now let's have a little musical break, shall we? Stay tuned, folks. We still have a lot of news for you to tell.
If the world goes down tomorrow, well, there ain't no use in crying. Don't you hang your head in sorrow. Get together, have yourself a time. If the world goes down tomorrow, there's just one thing for me to do. Go and get dressed, my very best, in my top of tails vest, and spend the day with you. If there's no more time to borrow, gonna put on my brightest smile. Gather everyone I love under the sun that shines above and make it worthwhile. I don't wanna freeze and fright. I don't wanna run and hide. 'Cause nothing and no one's gonna take from me the joy of being loved and being free. If the world goes down tomorrow, there's just one thing for me to do. Gonna get dressed my very best in top of tails vest and spend the day with you. I'd rather die with a bottle in my hand, rather die arm in arm with a good old friend, than sitting alone in my darkened room, afraid of fate, afraid of doom. If the world goes down tomorrow, there's just one thing for me to do. Gonna get dressed my very best in my coffee tails and vest and spend the day with you.
And we're back on there. Now let's continue paying our attention to a newfound golden elephant in the room. I managed to talk personally with the representative of the Golden Army, Captain Wu. Well, how to say managed. They came to my house. In short, everything they've told me can be summarized as follows. When the Golden Empire will begin. Now, let's continue paying our attention to a newfound golden elephant in our room. First of all, I managed to talk personally with the representative of the Golden Army, Captain Wu. Well, how to say managed. They came to my house. In short, everything they've told me can be summarized as follows. When the Golden Empire gains full control over our territory, the laws and legal system of the Golden Empire will begin to work on it. Apparently, it is possible to become a citizen of the Empire only after 25 years of military duty in the Golden Army. However, you still can live on the territory of the Golden Empire even without being a citizen. You can live and earn your own money. The law is equal, both in front of people and in front of the market, both in front of the citizens and not. Still, there is a very important thing about all of this. Here's the Captain's Wu personal comment on the situation, so pay attention.
Non-citizens in good standing are permitted residency in the Empire, and to earn a living as they please. However, they still are subject to imperial law. Taxes once full pacification has been achieved, and unlike citizens, do not have a right to a trial. As to all who decline it, as in reject the Empire and our right to rule at all, don't. The savages of Big Cyprus did, and now there are no more savages in Big Cyprus, just the Empire. Citizenship is a privilege, not a right, earned through service to the Empire. I cannot make a broad statement since I am a soldier. However, I can assure you that the Empire, as the bringer of peace and prosperity, does permit the peaceful and mindful marked asylum on its territory. The Empress is both the bane and the great protector of all marked, after all.
Hope you listened to it very well. You did? Well, that's nice. I hope you will draw conclusions from the speech. I personally only inform you about it. And that's about it. Thank you all for listening. Now let's have a little tip before we go on a break. Stay away from the rain. The infected are being drawn by it like worms. Thank you all for listening. Today's sponsor is Papa Papados, honorable trader from the producer and procurer of only the finest wares and Papa was the best deals? Whatever suits the guy. And remember, you can't stop this radio from working. Now let's listen to some music that was ordered by one of our listeners. Enjoy.
I was led to my own devices. Many days fell away with nothing to show, and the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds roll over the hills, bringing darkness from above. But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing's changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like you've been here before? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? love. Great clouds roll over the hills, bringing darkness from above. But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing's changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like you've been here before? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? Where do we begin? Trouble or sin? Where do we begin? Trouble or sin? And the walls kept tumbling down in the city we love. Great clouds